guys, today we're going to talk about 4 things that will absolutely destroy your relationship, like your marriage, your friendship, your relationship with your children, any form of a relationship that you have. These 4 things, if you do 1, 2 of them, your relationship for sure. Like when friends or a couple or a family walks in, when a couple walks in and I see any of these 2 things, I can 75% of the time predict that the relationship is not gonna last. And those 4 things are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Criticism is clear. So the difference between criticism and voicing your issues is that criticism focuses on the person. You, Dumi-san, are like this. It's like you, Dumi-san, are like this and that, right? That's criticism. And voicing an issue or dealing with an issue, you focus on the issue. When this and this happens, this is how it's affecting me. When the dishes are not washed and you said you're gonna wash them, it makes me anxious. When we spend or you spend more money than we plan to spend, it makes me anxious, it makes me worry. Compared to, you're always spending too much money and you don't make enough money and you no, right? That's the difference, right? One is you're criticizing the person, one you're dealing with your own issues when I, and you're focusing on their issue, right? Contempt is mean and disrespectful. We know that, right? It's like I dated a person a long time ago who every time I spoke to this person, he would roll his eyes, right? Or they don't pay attention, or they criticize my body, or they criticize something about me, especially if it's things that I cannot do or I cannot change. You're too short, don't you wish you were taller, or so that's contempt. You are mean and disrespectful and degrading. Nobody's gonna stay in a relationship where they're constantly made to feel like they're not good enough, or that they are degraded, or they're ashamed, right? Nobody, not a man, not a woman, or a child. A child, as soon as they can, they'll run away from that parent, right? Number 3 is defensiveness. Life and love and relationships are not all so sweet. So if you're in a relationship with somebody that you're not able to talk to, you cannot express I feel some type of way when you said this, and they're like, oh, right? So defensiveness works from the inside out. When a person cannot tell you how they feel, so let's say you and I in a relationship and I'm afraid to tell you how I feel, I'm afraid to express my true feelings, my true voice, then I become alienated, because then you have me in the physical, but you don't have my true feelings, my true ideas, my true thought, right? So you only have half of me, because you and I cannot talk to each other, because every time I try to talk to you, you are defensive. That means you lock me on the outside. You lock my inner being on the outside. Do you know what I mean? And I remember I taught a friend or somebody about learning to take space. I said, in your relationship you can take space, but you have to be the one that comes back. And this person wanted to take space in a very bad way, where it became stonewalling. Do you know what I mean? So you can take space, but you have to be able to come back and allow the person to say how they feel. Basically teach yourself to open up yourself, to be able to say, I'm not perfect. I need to make room for healing and for improvement, and there are things that I might not be aware of, because if you don't do that and you become defensive, you cannot hear anything about yourself that you do wrong, then you lock your partners and your friends and your family outside. You alienate them. and that destroys a relationship. It's one of the fastest ways to destroy a relationship. So stonewalling, as I said, is when you respond to people with contempt, with disrespect. As I said, this friend would say, I said I needed space, so they would bite me. And then when I start to say, this and this happened, they say, I told you I need space, give me space, I told you I can't talk to you, and then come back with it after a day or two with a long email. So not only did I lose the opportunity to say what I needed to say, now they're coming back at me so they cut me. I couldn't finish what I needed to finish because they needed space. Went away for 2 days to investigate what's going on with them, and then come back with a long list of that will try and justify their actions. And when I realized that this person and this is what they're doing, I started now saying, I'm not going to give you space until you hear me. So hear me and then take your space. And then this person would still say, no, but I told you I needed space. And then I was like, okay, let's see. Maybe you learned. And then it'll be the same situation where it's like they take space, protection, and then come back and spew out how, oh, you're such a horrible person. You did this and you did that, or you did this and then you did. So yeah, stonewalling is one of the best way to destroy a relationship, right? Because you are also isolating and alienating your partner because they're not clear about what they feel. So do you need space so you can help yourself process, so you can be in a good place, so you can hear what I have to say? Or are you taking space now to come back to get more ammunition to come and shoot me and do more of the things that I'm telling you I'm not willing to take? You see? So you're not clear. Are you taking space because you're being respectful for the relationship, or are you taking space so that you can, do you care or do you not? You're coming back, so there's this disrespect that comes with stonewalling. And I find that when you become emotionally mature and you start to have high EQ, you start to be respectful of your relationship. You start to be respectful of the people around you, right? So yeah, those are the 4 ways to destroy a relationship. So try not to do them. If you care about somebody, relationships are very sensitive. So if you care about somebody, don't do those things. If you care about preserving your relationships, don't do those things. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Deuces. Like, subscribe, and share.